Join us and adopt your A to B for me strategy. Just do you. Your journey begins now.
Well, hello and welcome to What's Trending. It's Wednesday, April 7th, 2021. So I hope you had a great week last week and have a good one going this week. I know we had Easter weekend last weekend, so I hope you had some good time with family. For What's Trending today, we've obviously got the first one up here is about the mobile dog bed, but we're going to be talking about an angry Octo too. Talk about some front pockets that we need, a SeaBee desk, 5 in 540, Italy in 12K, Amamall, oh no, Kethcup, lifelong sports, and how's your net? All right, well, I'm going to back on out of here so you can see these things up close and personal. The first one I'm going to talk about are some pet owners that make a mobile bed for their 16-year-old dog to help the canine enjoy its last vacation. So this is our feel-good story for the day, and it's pretty incredible that Tom Antonio and his wife created a mobile bed to transport their ailing 16-year-old Chesapeake Bay Retriever named Coco around their favorite vacation spot on Virginia Beach. Of course, we live pretty close to Virginia Beach here, and there is Coco in his bed, and at the kind of a familiar scene down there at the ocean front. But yeah, they wanted to bring him out for, I guess, one last round. They live in Georgia, and they visit here often, but they wanted to bring him out, and there he is. Sitting there enjoying the view and everything else. So it just goes to show you that there's no lengths that folks will go for their family pet here. Unfortunately, Coco, it did pass a few months ago, but he did get one final adventure, and so kudos to these dog owners, Tom Antonio and his wife, for making their pooch have one last adventure before the Rainbow Bridge. All right. Well, let's talk about a pet or an animal that wasn't quite so friendly. Not a pet, but this man comes face to face with an angry octopus. And it's a rare attack because there aren't a lot of octopuses that really attack people. But you can see he got a pretty good whack there on his neck. But he was in Australia, and he was out there just kind of doing some diving, and he came across this octopus, and he said, "Well, let's just go take a look at it," because a lot of us do when we're scuba diving. That's what we go there for, just kind of look at things. But he got close to it, and all of a sudden the invertebrate just launched itself at him. Apparently, he got a little bit too much into his grill and said, "Hey, this ain't going to happen." But and then he kind of left, and as he was examining some crab shells and things, he felt this whipping sensation on his left arm and a second strike across his neck and his upper back. So this thing was really angry with him, and it fogged up his goggles because he had to head back to the beach. But they do spray, this little black spray whenever they when you get close to them and they're angry. But he didn't see that until later on. But he did end up fine. I mean, he was a former lifeguard, so he kind of could hold his own. But he did have some wounds, and they didn't really know what to put on it. But here's kind of one solution for you. The family just grabbed some Coca-Cola because it was an acidic mixture, and they poured it on his back in the shower, and the pain dissipated. So if you're out there and you get attacked by an octopus, be sure you got a Coke nearby. We talked about Coke and Diet Coke in one of my seminars here, webinars here the other day, but you can have that Coke next to you, and that way you can get it going. But it didn't last for long, only about 20 minutes, and everything was back. But they did say that the octopuses, they are venomous, but like most things, it's harmless to humans. It's mainly just so they can get clams and lobster. But an octopus does attack, so don't think they're just friendly little creatures out there. But okay, well, let's go from that to this little girl. Talk about the ocean here, Old Navy here. they responded to a first grader because she said, "I need jeans with real pockets." We all see that stuff when we're out there looking at, my goodness, look at these jeans are just not functional anymore. So she had wrote her, says, "Dear Old Navy, I do not like that. The front pockets of girls' jeans are fake. I want front pockets because I want to put my hands in them. I would also like to put things in them. Would you consider making girls' jeans with front pockets that are not fake? Thank you for reading my request." That's the first grader from Arkansas, Cameron Gardner. And of course, Old Navy wrote her back, and they responded, and they thanked her for taking such time to write about the pockets on the girls' jeans. And the team got together. They appreciated the information, and they sent her 4 pairs of jeans and some jean shorts with real pockets. So Old Navy did respond and gave this little first grader her pockets, front pockets in her jeans. Speaking of the Navy, we got the Navy SeaBees who built Vice President a desk out of wood from the USS Constitution. And not only did they make that desk, but they did one for the Navy Secretary as well. The Vice President and Navy Secretary. They now have desks built out of materials from some of the most storied ships in U.S. history, which is really kind of cool. It's a neat looking desk. You can see the detail that they've got in it. But they actually, they used several different desks. I think this is something that Trump had approved before he left office, but they began construction in January 4th, and they took parts from the Constitution, obviously, but they also got it from the frigate Chesapeake, battleship Texas, New Jersey, and a little piece of the Arizona is actually in there. So they did kind of some neat stuff, just making a very, very historical desk. You can kind of read about the whole story here, but it's pretty cool. So you just might want to, it's just on military.com, but you might just reach out to the Navy SeaBees build wood desk from USS Constitution and see more on that. But it's a pretty cool desk and pretty cool idea to grab parts of all those storied ships. But let's get over to Paris. We're talking about 5 and 5 here. Look at 540 square foot apartment becomes a forever home for a family of 5. Now, I don't know if you could imagine that or not, but I found this on Dwell. Dwell does a lot of these little things, small spaces, but it's kind of crazy. A former 1 bedroom. And they call it nomadic architecture. You'll see why in a little bit. But they took this 540 square foot and made it big enough for 5 people. Now that kind of be your opinion, but you can see the nomadic part. To me, it looks like I went to Home Depot and got some plywood and just went to town. But it's kind of crazy. That it's funny how they can talk about this thing in here about how it's airy and it opened up and the light pine flooring, all this kind of stuff. There's just not much to it. It's just a couple little rooms, and you can see that it does have some high ceilings though, but the family fits in here, I guess. Okay, they keep showing a lot of the dining room here, but you can see there's a staircase. Kind of in the dining room and the living room, and then so when you come in, here's your living room right here, and of course your kitchen's right here, and there's a plan at the bottom of it being showed that this is the bathroom, which is kind of like an RV thing. You got a little sink here, and then you got a shower and toilet combo. And then you can see the kids' bedrooms. They got one going up and they got one going down. So they've kind of converted here. So they've got a room for the son and the daughter. But you can kind of see it's really kind of packed in there. You've got the 2 bedrooms, 2 beds here is a double bed here, and then you got mom and dad live over here, and then you got the living room. So really compact, but 5 people living in that. So kind of interesting in Paris. I don't know. I kind of tried to see how much it was. I know that real estate in Paris is really, really incredibly high, or in the suburbs of Paris, but I couldn't find anything. But anyway, I did find something over here when we get over to talk to Italy here. If I get up to the top of this one, so when you do our review here, there's Italy. You can move into an entire Italian house for just $12,000. Now, that's not a down payment. That's buying the house. There's this hillside community here, Latronico. Two towns in Italy have begun listing cheap homes online to attract new residents and reverse population declines. One of them is in Latronico in Italy's southern Basilicata region. I'll say that right here in a minute. But it's kind of cool because you can get these little houses and they're not fixer-uppers. Before they were selling some crumbling ones out there for like $1 if you just come out and fix them up. The problem is, there's no Home Depot or Lowe's. You really got to bring this stuff in. But these little towns, they're old towns, so there's not going to be a supermarket. There's not going to be a Walmart down the street, this type of thing. But it's just for scenic and just kind of just chilling out, right? But they said it's municipality extends for 56 square kilometers or 22 square miles and scattered across 15 uninhabited districts and 2 ghost hamlets. But you can see there's a lot of shepherding families and things have abandoned these things just because of the times. But you can see it's a beautiful area. It's right down here, pretty close to Milan. And if you can hop over to France and Switzerland too. And there's another area down here, Latronico, near Naples. But you can see that, nice little places. Here's one here that they got kind of filled up, but of course, they're not huge, but about 80 square meters or something, 100 square meters. But some of them are 2 levels and things. But hey, for $12,000, dadgum, in Italy, why not? You can spend. I've spent $12,000 just going to Italy. So got a house. So think about that. Going to CNN Travel if you want to look at those Italian houses for just $12,000. Now, getting a little bit bigger now, let's talk about malls. These are Amazon snapping up all these disused shopping malls and turning into fulfillment centers. And I know we've had it here locally. They've taken over some Kmarts and turned them into fulfillment centers just because obviously Amazon is getting really had taken off due to the COVID thing. But they've really been rolling. In fact, they've just been buying. Here it says in Baton Rouge, about 3.4 million square foot distribution building. In Knoxville, another 220,000 square foot. Up in Massachusetts, 121,000 square foot distribution center. So they're just going all over the country here, getting stuff. And let me get rid of Harbor here, Fair Harbor. But it says that, since mall occupancy is down, that a lot of them are just shutting down. So Amazon is here to save the day for these folks and come in and build them. Of course, net sales increased 37% last year because of COVID and those types of things. And so now they've invested roughly $44 billion in capital expenditures. So, it's all working out for Bezos, right? He's got it going. But then of course they got some angry locals, not wanting them in there. But I'll tell you what, they're bringing jobs. They're helping the economy, and they're filling up this space is empty. So they're doing a lot of good for us, I think. Of course, everything's pluses and minuses here, but all the delinquent property tax is now being taken care of because Amazon's coming in and really has a reason to be there. So kudos to Bezos and them for coming in and helping these distressed areas. And let's talk about also another shortage because of COVID was ketchup. Now, they says ketchup can't catch up because apparently they have supply chain problems. So if you're out there and you're asking for extra ketchup, they don't give it to you. There's a reason for that. They just can't get it anymore. It said that all the closures, everybody was having to use these. And so all the packets are running, low, and people can't get them. And so the prices are up like 13% over year for this. So it says here that Long John Silver's has a nearly 700 chain unit had to seek ketchup for secondary suppliers because of the rush in demand. So they're out there trying to get the ketchup. So and they said here that they have pushed prices up. The Louisville, Kentucky-based company, which is this Long John Silver, an extra $500,000 is what it cost them to get this to help get their ketchup stuff in there. So if you're running low on ketchup in the stores, there's a reason. It's another side track here, I think, from COVID. All right, well, maybe not ketchup, but let's talk about 7 sports that are associated with living longer. I don't know, maybe not eating ketchup will help you too, but let me talk. I got this from Eating Well, which is kind of interesting. It talks about something that we really know is only about half of Americans, 53.3%, meet the recommended physical activity guidelines for aerobic exercise of 150 minutes of moderate activity or 75 minutes of vigorous activity per week. So if you're not doing that, you need to probably hop on the bandwagon and get this thing going. But the latest data that's the latest data from the CDC. But some of the things that they talked about here is, of course, just getting rid of all the chronic pain and these types of things. But the mental part of it is huge. Just feeling younger. So there's a lady playing tennis, and no big surprise that playing tennis would actually, according to their study, extend your life by 9.7 years. So there you go. Get out and play some tennis. And if you were planning on passing around and around about 92, you could make it get to 100. But badminton, 6.2 years. Soccer, 4.7 years. Cycling, 3.7 years. Swimming, 3.4 years. Jogging, 3.2 years, and calisthenics, 3.1. And one of the things that they noticed, and here's that interesting, the leisure time sports that inherently involve more social interaction were associated with the best longevity factors. So you got tennis, badminton, those two really were high. And then you got soccer. And then, of course, as it goes down, you doing it by yourself, it goes down. But those are some good things to do. A lot of good studies in here about what to do. But there you go. Might want to start picking up that tennis racket again, extend your life. But the main thing is just do something. My goodness gracious, get out there and let's try and hit this 150 minutes of moderate or 75 minutes of vigorous per week, so we can hang around a little bit longer. So take that into account here. And if you are going to live longer, this is kind of important. The average net worth of Americans age 55 to 64. So of course we all know that net worth hopefully increases as you get older. But this was kind of interesting to see. And of course, has its calculations, which we all know net worth is assets minus liabilities. But according to the survey, the median household net worth in the U.S. is $121,700, which is not a lot, but it almost double that, of course, for those in your late 50s and 60s, thankfully. And they said that the median net worth of Americans between 55 and 64 is 212, and the average net worth, which tends to skew higher due to earnings outliers, is about 1.2 million, which is really more where you need to be aiming at, I think. But it says that given the median U.S. salary is $68,703, most people don't arrive at their net worth overnight. And that's true. There's a lot of most smart choices you need to make. But let's look at these. You got the less than 35s. They got the net worth of 13.9 up to 76.3. And then you see how it kind of grows for you. It really makes a jump there, 35 to 44 up to 91.3 and 436. And then the 55 to 64 set, 212 to 1.2 million, and then 65 to 74, not a lot of increase here, 266 to 1.2, and then 75, 254 to a little bit under a million. So you got to get into this rank here somewhere if you're going to try and really get things rolling on. But there's some things that they could talk about in this thing about how you can improve that and increase that. And learn from your certified financial planner things that might be going wrong. But there's some high yield funds and some different things that you can do to get that thing rolling for you, tax deductions. This one guy said that he earned more than $1,200 in a year just from reinvesting his credit card cash back. So you might think about that instead of just saying, yeah, I'll just take it, go put it somewhere, right? So, and then of course your credit score is very, very important on these things too. But there you go. There's your average net worth. So this is a good one. You might pop up just any of these articles. You can just go and look them up yourself. But here's the average net worth for American age 55 to 64. Just pop that in Google and you can pull up this report. All right. Well, that is it for today. What did we learn? Well, we learned that, got to take care of, our pets as they get older. I mean, dadgum, you want to have a final vacation yourself. So really, really nice of these folks to do that for their canine. Stay away from those angry octopuses. Remember, when you're out there and doing your stuff, these animals, we're visitors. They live there. So don't get mad at them if they come after you. So just be careful and be respectful when you're out there. I love this one. You got a little first grader. He's telling a major corporation, I don't like what you're doing. I like front pockets, right? Well, and it's just nice that one of them did respond. and let her know. But you're never too young or old to express your opinion, so don't be afraid to do that. You might get some good results. This is a good one, just about taking old stuff and making it new. It's kind of cool if they did that and preserving history and stuff. But there's a lot of good things you could do with old stuff. Which Constitution's been around a long time, so but they just took some stuff that they'd used after remodeling and things and redoing the ship and made something out of it. So pretty cool. Pretty cool way to restore history. Well, and then just living. I mean, we all think we got one of these big old houses, but obviously you go to a parish, you're not going to. So get in there and you can make do with what you got. But there's a family of 5 and 540, and then of course, if you want to just really have some nice times, go over here to Italy. I mean, dadgum, like I said, for the price of a vacation, look at where you can live, all these nice places, and hang out and just have your own little place in Italy. Maybe you rent that thing out, and you can probably pay for the thing in a year or two. But some pretty cool stuff there in Italy if you want some place like that. And just thank you to Amazon for hanging in there. I know that again, a lot of folks nowadays, it's like, good. My goodness, you need something, you might as well just get it from Amazon. I'll be here tomorrow. But I know it does. It's good and bad, but it does help a lot of affiliates and folks that are out there trying to sell their stuff and start new businesses. So thanks to Amazon for getting out there and kind of helping our communities out and bringing jobs back and those types of things. And then of course the Kethcup thing. There's always something that we're gonna have to deal with. So just if you love ketchup, you just take your own. Don't mess with them. It costs them a lot of money to bring that in. So let's help out our local folks who are having issues there, and maybe taking your own ketchup. You never can tell. All right, and in 7 sports, of course, we just want to keep sure that we stay active. There's no sense in doing all this hard work. I talked this morning about action steps and KPIs and all these things we do every week to have this 10x lifestyle, but we have to take care of ourselves too. So get out there and do some sports and make things happen and get that 150 minutes of moderate or 75 of vigorous activity a week, and make your life a little better, prevent some of those chronic diseases, lose some weight, improve mental health, and increase your energy. And then of course, net worth, can't spend it all. Can't give it all to Amazon. So come on now, you got to sit back and start thinking about where you're going and what you're doing, and start putting back 10% if you're not doing that, and start getting your savings. Make sure you got something left over at the end of the day. I know that I'm planning on spending all my kids' inheritance, but the bottom line is I'm going to be spending it and having it. So be sure that you that you get out there and keep your stuff going. And like I said, if you need to know, kind of get a gauge of where you're at with everybody else, here it is. But if you're gonna live, you might as well live well. So get with your certified financial planner and get that thing rolling for yourself. Well, all right. Well, that does it for today. I'm gonna hop back in here real quick and just say, hey, have a great week. I know that tomorrow we got Thrive Thursday, and then Friday I have a really cool thing on the 7 benefits of adversity. So a lot of times you don't think adversity has any benefits, but it really does. So I'll be going over those on Friday for our Finish Strong Friday. But have a great week. So we're midweek, so I don't know how much you got done so far this week, but if you need to kick it in, let's kick it in. Let's get it rolling. But keep moving in the direction of your dreams. And as always, we'll be talking to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.